Hello, this is Telegram Reviews and welcome back to another review on the Arrow Season 8 Episode 5. So in last read through we saw the future people come to the past to take down Slade's child, or no, JJ, but they basically couldn't stop it because it's a whole different gang to when they are from. So let's get into this one. Let's go. So as always, I'll be starting this review off in two different parts. The first part will be Roy and what's his name, John. So those two go off to Russia to go steal this tentacle. I think it's like Pluto. I think it's that they need to do. So when John arrives, he has to persuade Roy, who's now going on the name of Jason, because what happened in season 7 was that he got bloodlust. So now he wants to kill people just to stop it because he died and was brought back, but he can't stop it unless he killed the person who killed him. So that's interesting, and it's a shame that they don't really wrap this whole thing up. But basically, John has to persuade him into coming along with the team, and tells him about basically the crisis that's coming, because otherwise Oliver's gonna basically die alone if he does die in crisis. So then at the docks, they both have a talk, and John tells him about the future and tells him that he removes himself from society and strands himself on Lian Yu until about like 30 years in the future or something like that. So so Roy finally sees that basically he needs to see that his bloodlust is a cure or can be cured, and John knows how to do it, and it was basically by joining a team. So when the shipment arrives, John takes out a few bad guys, Roy shoots them and then starts beating up another person, so I don't really see why John had to stop him, because he was already killing other people, but they was able to steal the other things. So let's move on to the more important stuff of the episode. So in the beginning we see Laurel talking to Harbinger, aka Lila Michaels. Basically, Harbinger wants to reassure that she is going to betray him. So in the beginning of the episode we see a training montage with Mia training with Oliver with the tennis balls and doing the shooting thing, which this really annoys me, because later on in the episode you'll see why it annoys me. Yeah. So then the only way that they can stop the Antimatter was by getting this certain device to stop him, but I need to build it, and all the parts are in Russia. So go over to Russia to Anatolio's, I think that's how it's his name, or say his name. So the one way which they're going to get some pieces that I need is by going into a cage match, which Oliver agrees to, and he was able to beat the biggest person there, but after giving that man a few punches in for himself. So after having to deal with the man, he was stopped by some other criminals and is tied up with Mia. And this is what I don't get. Mia moans at Oliver, saying that it's his fault for not trusting her, but it's her fault for not doing what her father told him to do. So the gang leader wants Oliver to tell him about this plan, or otherwise he'll kill Mia. So Oliver tells him about the plans, and Mia has to do the ring bell test thing that Oliver made his team do in season 5. Mia doesn't actually get to the place, but she does take all the people down. So when the boss goes shoot him or her, and then they fail. So after that, they have a big the whole family has an argument. Mia leaves, and Black Canary leaves and talks to Mia, basically saying that you should trust him, just because he's your father. There's not very much to it. So after that, they make a big plan. So Mia and Oliver will fight in the cage, and they took on 6 men. This bit wasn't really impressive, just because it's not really Arrow. It actually never became Arrow, but there wasn't really too much. Meanwhile, Black Canary and Antonio were getting the plans, and they did this quite easily, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. Except from one final scene where Black Canary tells Harbinger to says that she's not going to betray him, but Oliver and John do find out that he's working with Monitor, but then all 3 of them get knocked out. So I'm not really surprised at that ending. The one bad thing about this episode is that he's not Green Arrow much. He's more Oliver Queen, which I don't really like that. It's Green Arrow. For a show that's called Arrow, he's not Green Arrow. I don't understand that. Good things was there was a lot more fighting. Other than that, this was an okay episode. But that's it for today, guys. If you liked this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo. Bye.